Welcome back to Bible Quizzes and get ready to test your knowledge on the scriptures with another 35 questions. Let's get started. Question 1. Who was the disciple used by God to bring back Tabitha to life? John, Judas, or Peter? The answer is Peter. Acts 9:40. Peter sent them all out of the room. Then he got down on his knees and prayed. Turning toward the dead woman, he said, "Tabitha, get up." She opened her eyes, and seeing Peter, she sat up. Question 2. Who did Jesus see beside the Sea of Galilee with his brother Andrew casting a net into the lake? Simon, Philemon, or David? The answer is Simon. Mark 1:16. As Jesus walked beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw Simon and his brother Andrew casting a net into the lake, for they were fishermen. Question 3. What is the name of John and James' father that they left in the boat when they followed Jesus? Zacharias, Zebedee, or Jacob? The answer is Zebedee. Mark 1:19. When he had gone a little farther, he saw James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John in a boat preparing their nets. Question 4. According to the Bible, do not speak to blank, for they will scorn or not appreciate it. Fools, strangers, or wise? The answer is fools. Proverbs 23:9. Do not speak to fools, for they will scorn your prudent words. Question 5. How many provinces did King Xerxes rule from India to Kush? 125, 127, or 130? The answer is 127. Esther 1:1. This is what happened during the time of Xerxes. The Xerxes ruled over 127 provinces stretching from India to Kush. Question 6. Who was the tax collector who left everything and followed Jesus? Levi, Mark, or John? The answer is Levi. Luke 5:27-28. After this, Jesus went out and saw a tax collector by the name of Levi sitting at his tax booth. "Follow me," Jesus said to him, and Levi got up, left everything, and followed him. Question 7. Who issued a decree that a census should be taken by the entire Roman? Quirinius, Caesar Augustus, or Zechariah? The answer is Caesar Augustus. Luke 2:1. In those days, Caesar Augustus issued a decree that a census should be taken of the entire Roman world. Question 8. What is the profession of Luke? Doctor, lawyer, or carpenter? The answer is doctor. Colossians 4:14. Our dear friend Luke, the doctor, and Demas sent greetings. Question 9. The prodigal son is the blank brother among the two brothers. Younger, middle, or oldest? The answer is younger. Luke 15:22. But the father said to his servants, "Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet." Question 10. What place did Lazarus live? Jerusalem, Israel, or Bethany? The answer is Bethany. John 11:1. Now a man named Lazarus was sick. He was from Bethany, the village of Mary and her sister Martha. Question 11. Where did Jesus sit down as he was tired from a journey in Samaria? Jacob's well, Mount Sinai, or the Red Sea? The answer is Jacob's well. John 4:6. Jacob's well was there, and Jesus, tired as he was from the journey, sat down by the well. It was about noon. Question 12. What is the name of the high priest who said it is better that one man die for the people than the whole nation perish? Nicodemus, Caiaphas, or Barabbas? The answer is Caiaphas. John 11:49-50. Then one of them, named Caiaphas, who was high priest that year, spoke up. You know nothing at all. You do not realize that it is better for you that one man die for the people than that the whole nation perish. Question 13. Complete the missing word. I am the blank, you are the branches. Leaves, vine, or root? The answer is vine. John 15:5. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. Question 14. What was Jesus' reaction when he saw the mourning over the death of Lazarus? Wept, lonely, or pray? The answer is wept. John 11:35. Jesus wept. Question 15. When Jesus paid a visit to Lazarus sometime after he had raised him from the dead, the two engaged together in breakfast, lunch, or dinner? The answer is dinner. John 12:2. Here, a dinner was given in Jesus' honor. Martha served while Lazarus was among those reclining at the table with him. Question 16. Among the 12 disciples, who was not around when Jesus came? Peter, Judas, or Thomas? The answer is Thomas. John 20:24. Now Thomas, also known as Didymus, one of the 12, was not with the disciples when Jesus came. Question 17. How many times did Jesus appear to his disciples after he rose again from the dead? 3, 4, or 5? The answer is 3. John 21:14. This was now the third time Jesus appeared to his disciples after he was raised from the dead. Question 18. What last words did Jesus speak when he has received the drink, bowed his head, and give up his spirit? It is finished, I am thirsty, or pardon them? The answer is, it is finished. John 19:30. When he had received the drink, Jesus said, it is finished. With that, he bowed his head and gave up his spirit. Question 19. Who was given the full authority to rule over God's creation? Angel, man, or animal? The answer is man. Genesis 1:26. Then God said, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground. Question 20. What is the covenant of Jesus which is poured out of many for the forgiveness of sins? His blood, his body, or his soul? The answer is his blood. Matthew 26:27-28. Then he took a cup, and when he had given thanks, he gave it to them, saying, drink from it, all of you. This is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. Question 21. To whom did Jesus say, I tell you the truth, one of you will betray me? The 12 disciples, the high priest, or 12 tribes? The answer is the 12 disciples. Matthew 26:21. And while they were eating, he said, truly I tell you, one of you will betray me. Question 22. Who was the apostle who denied Jesus 3 times before the rooster crows? John, Peter, or Matthew? The answer is Peter. Matthew 26:34. Truly I tell you, Jesus answered, this very night before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times. Question 23. Who said that men will have to give account on the day of judgment for every careless word that they have spoken? The priest, angel, or Jesus? The answer is Jesus. Matthew 12:36. But I tell you that everyone will have to give account on the day of judgment for every empty word they have spoken. Question 24. What was Matthew's old profession before he became a disciple of Jesus? Carpenter, tax collector, or doctor? The answer is tax collector. Matthew 9:9. As Jesus went on from there, he saw a man named Matthew sitting at the tax collector's booth. Follow me, he told him, and Matthew got up and followed him. Question 25. What was a signal given by Judas to the multitude to identify the one that they are looking for? A kiss, a hug, or a smile? The answer is kiss. Matthew 26:48. Now the betrayer had arranged a signal with them. The one I kiss is the man, arrest him. Question 26. In the Old Testament, according to Solomon, how many men on earth do what is right and never sins? 0, 1, or 2? The answer is 0. Ecclesiastes 7:20. Indeed, there is no one on earth who is righteous, no one who does what is right and never sins. Question 27. Who was the governor in Syria when the first census took place? Joseph, Quirinius, or Judea? The answer is Quirinius. Luke 2:2. This was the first census that took place while Quirinius was governor of Syria. Question 28. How old were Moses and Aaron when they spoke to the Pharaoh? 77 and 80, 80 and 83, or 86 and 89? The answer is 80 and 83. Exodus 7:7. Moses was 80 years old and Aaron 83 when they spoke to Pharaoh. Question 29. Who was Rebekah's brother? Shelah, Teresa, or Laban? The answer is Laban. Genesis 24:29. Now Rebekah had a brother named Laban, and he hurried out to the man at the spring. Question 30. Who is the first person who falls deep asleep? Cain, Adam, or Abraham? The answer is Adam. Genesis 2:21. So the Lord God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep, and while he was sleeping, he took one of the man's ribs and then closed up the place with flesh. Question 31. What are the names of Laban's daughters? Leah and Maria, Mary and Martha, or Leah and Rachel? The answer is Leah and Rachel. Genesis 29:16. Now Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the older was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Question 32. How many of Joseph's brothers went down from Canaan to buy grain from Egypt? 8, 9, or 10? The answer is 10. Genesis 42:3. Then 10 of Joseph's brothers went down to buy grain from Egypt. Question 33. What did Jacob make over the tomb of Rachel? Statue, cross, or pillar? The answer is pillar. Genesis 35:20. Over her tomb, Jacob set up a pillar, and to this day that pillar marks Rachel's tomb. Question 34. Benjamin was first named blank by her mother. Ben-Sun, Ben-Oni, or Ben El? The answer is Ben Oni. Genesis 35:18. As she breathed her last, for she was dying, she named her son Ben Oni. Ben Oni means son of my trouble. Question 35. After Rachel had died, Israel moved on again and pitched a tent beyond what place? Sapiro, Etheria, or Migdal Eder? The answer is Migdal Eder. Genesis 35:21. Israel moved on again and pitched his tent beyond Migdal Eder. Alright, so that's all 35 questions. Let us know how you did in the comments down below, and make sure you share this video with a friend or family member so you can compare your score against theirs, and then we'll see you in the next one.